The Heart That Spoke to the World, The Life Journey of Maulana Tariq Jamil. In the dusty village of Tulamba, nestled quietly in the Mian Chanu region of Punjab, Pakistan, a child was born in 1953 to a respected landlord family. His name was Tariq Jamil, and no one could have imagined that this boy, playful, intelligent, and deeply rooted in tradition, would one day become one of the most beloved Islamic scholars of the modern age, whose voice would echo in mosques, hearts, homes, and screens across the world. His journey, however, was not written in comfort or luxury. It was carved through fire, the fire of truth, the burden of choices, and the silent cry of a soul searching for its Lord. Tariq grew up in an environment of wealth and rural nobility. His family was known not only for land, but also for traditional honor. As a young boy, he was taught the usual values of masculinity: strength, courage, and obedience. Religion, while respected in his home, was more a matter of culture than of the heart. "I knew how to read the Quran," he once said, "but I didn't know what it said. I prayed out of habit, not out of love." He was sent to Lahore to pursue medical studies at King Edward Medical College, one of the most prestigious institutions in the country. His parents had great dreams: to see their son become a doctor, a man of science, respected in the world of status and intellect. And indeed, Tariq was gifted. He excelled in his studies, enjoyed the company of friends, and participated in sports, debates, and youthful entertainment. The world was his, and yet something within him remained unsettled. "I would laugh with my friends," he later shared, "but at night, when I would lie alone, something inside me would whisper, 'This is not your purpose.'" Then a moment came, a moment that divides life into two: the before and the after. One day, during his college years, he encountered a group of Tablighi Jamaat, men who were visiting to invite young Muslims toward a life of prayer and Islamic values. At first, he dismissed them. "They looked old-fashioned," he said, "as if they had walked out of the 13th century. I thought, what could they possibly offer me?" But something about their nur, light, and the peace in their demeanor disturbed his assumptions. One night, he agreed to attend a short talk by one of the elders. That talk, seemingly simple and filled with stories from the Prophet's life, shattered something within him. "I heard about Rasulullah crying for his ummah. I heard about his nights spent in prostration. And I looked at myself. I had everything, yet I had nothing." That very night, Tariq Jamil wept. Alone in his hostel room, he sobbed for hours, whispering prayers he barely understood. He had never prayed with such depth before. He made a decision that stunned his family. He left medical school and devoted himself entirely to Islamic education. His parents were furious. "My mother cried for 40 days, he said, "and my father said I had brought shame upon the family. But how could I explain to them that I had found something greater than medicine?" Tariq enrolled in Jamia Arabia, Raiwind, where he studied hadith, fiqh, tafsir, and Arabic under traditional scholars. The journey was not easy. His background was secular. His heart had passion, but his tongue stumbled over Arabic letters. Yet he pushed forward. "When the love of Allah enters the heart," he would later say, "learning becomes sweetness, not struggle." Years passed. Tariq Jamil emerged from the seminary not as a rigid scholar, but as a man, transformed by the beauty of the Prophet and the mercy of Allah. He began to preach, initially in small gatherings, then in mosques, then in cities. What set him apart was not just his knowledge, but his softness, a kind of prophetic compassion rarely seen in modern speakers. He did not shout. He did not accuse. He cried when he spoke. He told stories of Bilal R.A., of Umar R.A., of the Prophet weeping at night, of the Sahaba feeding strangers with their last piece of bread. His voice trembled. His hands folded gently. His eyes often turned red with tears. And people listened. We are so busy proving others wrong that we forget to prove ourselves right in front of Allah, he once said in a speech that went viral across South Asia. His words touched Muslims and non-Muslims alike. Young people who had never worn prayer caps before began attending his talks. Celebrities, cricketers, politicians, even people from entertainment industries. They all came to him, drawn not by force but by light. He became a bridge in between the religious and the secular, between the mosque and the media, between the scholar and the street. He met with Imran Khan, Wasim Akram, Shahid Afridi, and others not to boast, but to whisper in their ears the words of Allah and the love of His messenger. Tariq Jamil never declared himself a mufti or an authority. He remained humble. "I am not a scholar," he would say. "I am a student of love. The love of Rasulullah and the one who sent him." Over the years, his influence grew globally. His speeches were translated into English, Arabic, and Malay. He traveled to the UK, USA, Canada, the Middle East. His videos gathered millions of views, and yet his dress remained simple, his gaze lowered, his tone soft. Even in fame, he remained a servant. He launched the MTJ Foundation, focusing on health, education, and spiritual reform. He built schools and hospitals. He opened a clothing brand, MTJ, not for luxury, but to generate funds for his charitable work. Critics spoke, as they always do, but he remained quiet. "My job is to serve," he said, "not to argue." He also endured personal trials. In 2020, he tested positive for COVID-19. The world held its breath. Millions prayed for him. He recovered, but it left him more reflective. "Every breath is a gift," he said afterward, "and every breath must take us closer to Allah." Despite his age and health challenges, he continues to preach. He stands for hours, gently urging people toward prayer, respect, love for parents, and unity. He condemns hatred and extremism. "Islam is not harshness," he says. "It is beauty, balance, and the smile of the Prophet." His legacy is not in buildings or titles, but in changed hearts. Countless people have left sins after listening to him. Many began prayer, hijab, or repentance through his words. His most famous quote, now etched in the minds of millions, is, "Namaz sirf ek farz nahi, ye Allah ke saath mohabbat ka wasta hai." Prayer is not just an obligation, and it is a bond of love with Allah. Today, Maulana Tariq Jamil is not just a preacher. He is a healer of souls, a reminder in an age of noise, a soft voice in a harsh world, a light in darkness. His story reminds us that Allah can change any heart, that the real success is in submission, and that a single tear shed in sincerity can open the gates of divine mercy. "Main kisi firqai ka nahi, main sab ka hoon. Main nabi ka hun." I do not belong to any sect. I belong to all. I belong to the Prophet. And perhaps that is why the world listens when Maulana Tariq Jamil speaks, because he speaks not from books, but from the heart, a heart that found Allah and never looked back.